Hello gamers, Matt Lemke with Through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. Today we're going to work on painting the orbs for the Circle of Orbes, Celestial Fulcrum Battle Engine. I already went ahead and painted one up because I wanted to see what it was going to be like if I just gave it a base coat and see if I could get down in there. Because I really don't want to take the time to line all this. I mean, there's a lot of them. And there's the big orb too, which that's going to be a little bit more complicated. We're going to hit these today. I'm going to try and get all this done in a half an hour. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to get started by painting some of the green on here. I went ahead and I made it a thinner coat for the paint, so it's kind of like a wash but a little bit heavier. I don't want to lose the detail, and I don't want a ton of the green on top of the model. So without wasting any more time, I'm going to go ahead and keep going, see how this works. I want to make sure that I get down in the nooks and crannies. That's the big thing. I want to be able to get in the nooks and crannies. I don't care so much if I cover the whole ball, because I'm going to come back and dry brush it with a gray. Now, anybody has a better technique than this, hey, share it with me, because I'm sure as technology gets better, people are going to come up with better ways to mold the models so that there can be greater detail, and that detail like this on a model is really just the beginning. I mean, if you go back, gosh, I don't know, 20 years and look at some of the original models that were put out for model railroading and stuff, and compare them to stuff that's out there now, I'd be willing to bet you see a huge difference. Even like if you'll go and look at WizKid's original models and compare them to the new Pathfinder models, it's a night and day difference, and that's a difference of what, 7 years, maybe 8, maybe 10. Now, I'm sure a lot of that has to do with technology. Some of it might have to do with just getting better tools for the sculpting, and, well, not for the sculpting, but for the spinning or the casting. I'm not really sure how WizKids casts their molds or their figures. I'd imagine it's very similar to what's done for resins and for pewter and plastics. I'm sure it's an injection process of some sort. Sorry if I was off camera there. Getting a little bit carried away with myself. Now again, I'm not trying to cover the whole thing. I'm just trying to get down into the detail marks. I think that might work. A good dry brush on it, and we'll be good to go. I am going to go ahead and I'm going to grab some black, because let me show you real quick. I'm not going to need a lot of it. If you look at the box for the orb, you can see that the top is darker and the bottom's lighter, and over here on the blue it's almost white on the bottom. I'm going to try and recreate that in a way. I have never tried doing this before, so this is really an experiment for me. I'm going to go ahead and just take a little bit of black, and I got to figure out where the top is. That would be most helpful. Which one is this? This is the red. So this is the top. And I'm just going to put a black line across there like that. And then I really can't see the little one. Go ahead and do that there like that. And I'm going to do the same thing with the last one. Do a little black line. And it doesn't really matter. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to come back and I'm going to hit that with gray. And then I'm going to hit the bottom with white. And then I'm going to put a real wet layer of those colors over the top of it. So like that. Go like this. And what that's doing is I'm shading it right off the bat already. And last I'm going to use white. Oops, it's plugged. And right at the bottom, I'm going to go ahead and hit it with some white. Don't really care that it smears a little bit because I want them all to blend together. I probably could have just done this with black and white and blended it right on the model. Okay. Now I'm going to take some more of that black. No. I think next I'm going to paint the brown, which for that I'm using a base of Beastie Brown. Which there is a good bit of brown on here. And it's not really the easiest always to get to. But that's okay. If you hit those high spots, you're going to come back anyway and hit it with the... I'm going to use... I'm going to start with bolt gun metal for the silver. And I'm going to work my way up. Well, not really work my way up. I'm just going to kind of hit it with mithril silver after that to dull it. Now I'll probably hit the whole thing with an armor wash. Well, not the whole thing, but the arms. If I hit the actual orb with a wash, it'll probably be a green ink. Going to be a light brown wood. I probably should have done it a little bit darker for more contrast, but live and learn. Live and learn. You can always go over it too with a darker wash, a black wash will make it darker. Okay, now I'm going to try and do the silver. I'm going to try and be careful not to get it onto the orb. But if I do, I can always come back and line that section with an ink. Which, if I really want to take my model up a notch or two, that's what I should do anyway. To make, just to make sure that people know that there's a definite line there. Like right now, it just kind of blends and But if you take the time to take your liner and ink that with a dark black ink, it really brings out those lines on the model. And I don't mean the lines that you're trying to paint, I mean the lines that are there from the actual model before it's painted. It's just like, you know, if you highlight your hair, you're really bringing out each individual hair when you highlight your hair. Go ahead and do this part real quick too. Oh, I bumped it. Oh, well, that's a leaf. I have to come back with the brown like that again. Sorry about that. One down. This time I'm going to start with the rim because it's harder to do. For those of you that may or may not have noticed, I really don't follow rules when I paint. I just kind of do what I want to do. Most of it's an experiment. I have watched a couple of videos, but prior to that I kind of got habits, and well, habits are hard to break. But the techniques that I did pick up from those videos, I do apply as much as I can. Sometimes I think they're crazy, but these are, you know, videos are by people that are far better at painting than I am. I've watched Hot Lead. I watched one that had to be from the 70s. It's pretty out of date. What the heck is that called? The Apprentice Wizard's Painting Workshop or something like that? I don't remember what that is. I really don't remember it. I mean, I remember I learned a lot from that video. That was probably the first painting video I ever watched. I'm pretty sure it was done back in the days of VHS. How's that for dating a video? So it's a new year. Hopefully we'll be bringing you many exciting things this year. Like more game reviews. And soon we're going to start playing a lot more in our studio, and we're going to film those battle reports for you. And the last one. Again, I like the idea of starting on the rim, so I'm going to start on the rim. Not sure it's even going to matter that much starting on those rims because on the table I'm not sure how well they're going to be seen. So I have about the third orb almost done here. Hit it a little bit more with some paint. Try and get in here without getting on the green. The Am I glad that I assembled this first? Yes, actually I am. Because it might look like I'm struggling. I'm not. But if you don't have a lot of brush control, I would suggest that you paint it before you assemble it. Okay. Well, so let's see, I did this one first. Now, the fun begins. Because it is time to start dry brushing. Which, actually, no, I'm not going to dry brush first. I'm going to do the orbs. And I'm just going to do basically the same colors, or attempt to do the same colors that they did on the box. I'm going to go with the red first. I think is this one. I'm not 100% sure. And I'm gonna hit it right over the black. Because for whatever reason, it likes to bleed through on the black a lot. So before I do my real thin transparency, which is going to be almost immediately. Okay. Now I've got a real thin wash. This is thinner than a wash. This is like a real wet. Real wet. Basically I want it to hit. Maybe it's too wet. Well, experiment 1 has failed. So let's see if I can't cheat a little bit. I've got a real wet brush, and I'm going to go back. I'm going to dab that on there. Try it again. Hopefully that'll dry right for me. Hopefully. And I'm not going to go ahead and do the other ones yet because I want to see what that dries like. And then we're going to move right on into the gray. I'm going to dry brush this with Stonewall Gray. I might even add a little bit of black to it. I'm going to start with this one here. And I'm going to move to a flat brush for this. Oops. Sorry about that. Off screen, off camera. And it's coming to life. I might not be able to get this brush in there. So just use the one edge. Come over here, do the side. And You have to get in here. Doop. Now I'll come back and I'll ink that with a green transparency or green ink. And I think it'll be okay. The bigger the ball, the easier it is to dry brush. Also, the more careful you have to be, because some of these grooves are not that deep, so you still have to exercise a good bit of brush control. And I'm probably going to have to, I don't know, excuse me, I'm probably going to have to come back and hit it again with another dry brush. Maybe I'll hit it with a white, I don't know, because the green is bleeding through the dry brush a pretty good bit. But in the same sense, it's done. Well, it will be done. I got to come back, and I do have to paint that. That's like a stone color. This one's going to be the blue stone, so I will probably go ahead and see, that is going to bleed through a good bit. It's not. Oh, that kind of looks good actually. It's milky-ish. I do need to maybe hit it with a little bit of water real quick and try and blend this together a little bit better here. I could probably hide that with ink. Put that off the side again. Go back to my dry brushing. Oops. And do the last one. Again, another spot for a stone. Again, you have to exercise control with your brush, because some of these aren't very deep and they go every which way, so it's actually pretty easy to get the gray paint down into the grooves. But at the same time, I think by painting the whole thing green and then coming back and dry brushing it, you're saving yourself a tremendous amount of time and work on the orbs themselves. Some of the other parts of the model, not going to be this easy, because I actually thought this was going to be the toughest part. And if you're happy with what you see so far, this isn't so bad. Oh, I missed a spot with the silver. That's done. Dry brush this. The other thing I noticed that this does is, by dry brushing it over top of the green, it kind of makes it look like it's glowing. You might not be able to get that effect from the camera, but it does kind of give it a certain glow to it. Okay. Wash that off. Now I'm going to do the I'm going to do this one. I'm going to do this. This is going to be the jade green. Try and not make it as wet as the last one was. But I'm still going to make it pretty wet. Wetter than a wash. And again, I'm not showing you my mixing technique or anything like that because I'm not sure I've perfected it yet. So we're going to give this a whirl. A little bit more paint. I think that one's going to turn out just fine. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the fire orange next. And orange is a lot like the red with the Vallejo for whatever reason. It's pretty thin. So I might have to do this multiple times to get this the way I want to get it. In fact, I've avoided using the orange on many occurrences because it is such a thin paint. But for what we're doing, we want it thin, so it might work pretty much the first time out. I already can tell though, I'm going to have to come back and at least hit the dark spots, the gray. Because it's just way too thin. I take coat after coat after coat. Doesn't even look orange. Except on the white. So that's going to take me multiple coats. I might even change the color. Not going to change the color. And I'm going to work it down until I have no brush marks, which is right now. That's going to look like, I think it's going to be cool. Okay. Now, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? I can take a black wash. Well, there's a couple spots that with the gray I should hit again. Where did I put my gray? That I couldn't get to with the flat brush. So now I'm going to hit them with the round brush I've been painting with all day. Try not to drop it like I did. Yeah, that's pretty good. For my first attempt ever. Get those spots that I think are a little too green. Kind of like my paint job, it's green. So yeah, it's darker at the top and gets lighter at the bottom, swirls like it's a magical orb. I kind of like that. I might, on this one I'll probably put like a green glaze, just because I want it to shine. Maybe I'll put glazes over them all. Ooh, I'll varnish them. Ta-da! And then I'm going to go ahead and hit it with a black wash on the woodwork. And until it dries, I'm going to have to say we're done. I don't care if I get it on the metal at all, or on the bolt gun metal that I painted on here, because it just adds more depth to it. In fact, I'm going to hit it real quick. I missed the whole spot. I'm going to come back and hit it with a dry brush of mithril steel to dull it anyway. So doesn't matter if I hit it now or not with a wash. It'll just add some shading to it, and it speeds up your painting time. Now, if you were trying to enter this in a competition, I would say slow down and do it differently, but that's not my focus here. I do kind of use this for speed painting competition practice, but I don't go to all the cons. I only go to a couple cons a year, and I don't even get to compete every time I go. So I just think they're fun, and well, for $2 you get a free fig. I can deal with that, and about an hour's worth of fun. And if I like this wash on the steel, I may not come back and add the bolt gun metal. Oh, sorry, I was just dabbing some of that excess off. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and on the red one, I'm going to go ahead and hit these spots here with red. There's two of them. And on the orange one, I'm going to hit the orange if there are any of those, because I don't think they all have that little orb. There's an orange one. So I'm going to hit that real quick. Should be one on the other side, and there is not. I don't think there's one on the one that I put the jade on. So, for now, I'm going to call in my mithril silver, and I'm going to hit the high spots real quick on the, where is it? Well, I thought I grabbed mithril silver. I grabbed plate silver instead, which, close enough. I must be out of the mithril silver. I wanted to use the mithril because it's duller. I can add a little bit of black to it, and I'll be fine. Just kind of use it as a dry brush. And on this dry brush, all you gotta do is go like this. Hit the high spots. You might not even be able to notice it when you're doing it, unless you've got exceptional eyes. Ooh, there's a spot there that I hit with the silver. Pretty hardcore. Gotta be careful where you grab it now. Gonna have to come back with the black. I mean the brown, and hit that spot right there. It's all silver. Hit the high spots. Hit the spots where I think light would hit. Now it's metal, so, and it's in the woods, in my opinion. It could have some little blotchy spots on it that make it look aged and weathered. Or it could be a brand new Fulcrum battle engine. It's all up to you. I like it looking a little bit on the rundown side. I think it adds some character to it. It tells a little bit of a story. But that's me. I mean, I'm the type of guy who likes to drill holes in his models to make them look like they've been shot. I've only done it once or twice. Or I intentionally break bayonets off the Dark Eldar models, because, well, they're going to break anyway. So I break them off and make them look broken. Like they've been fighting a long time, like they're poor, running from planet to planet. Remember, it's art. There are no rules. They tried telling some of the most famous artists in the world to follow the rules. Following the rules did not get them where they were before they died. Or where they are now if they're really famous ones. Really, really good and sought after. So now I need to grab that one that I needed to grab. I gotta grab a couple actually. This one here. Probably gonna have to rewash those two that I got so much silver mess on. And I'll probably hit that one again because of the blotches. Actually, I got the paint out. I might as well do it right now. Hit those blotches real quick. See if I can't blend those in a little bit better. This one, it's got a nice, you can't really see it. Well, it could be my TV I'm using. But it's got a nice swirly effect to it. Like there's a lot of magic going on in the orb. Maybe it's an orange smoke getting ready to come out. I don't know anything about this model or the history behind it, obviously. Nice and dark on top. Fades to a brighter orange. I like it. Jade's got the same swirly effect to it. And I'm going to go ahead and say that until they're dry, I'm done with these portions of the model. Because I really just, without them being fully dry, I don't know what's going to happen. So, this is Matt Lemke with the first real episode of Off the Palette, where we painted the orbs for the Circle of Ouroboros Celestial Fulcrum Battle Engine. Tune back soon. In the next episode, we're going to go ahead and work on these three guys. Notice that their primer is just kind of splashed on there, and what I did is I sprayed them black real quick, and then I hit them right away with the white. I wanted to do that, and actually I only tried hitting from the high spots with the white. It didn't really work because, well, that's just the way it is. But they're going to have different levels of shading now because of the different base coats of the white and the black. This is actually probably the one I'm going to like the best for painting, because you got the sun is obviously coming down this way and hitting it, or whatever the light source is. But you can see the different degrees of shading on them. And on the front, you can see it best with this guy. But that'll be the next one. So this is Matt Lemke with Through Gamer Goggles and Off the Palette. If you like what you see, you like what we're doing, please leave us comments, +1 us, follow us on Twitter, find us on Facebook. Again, thank you.